Hey YouTube, I'm back. I know it's been a long time since my last long form video, so I thought I'd give you an update on how things are going. Uh, let's get started. There's a lot to talk about. Basically, when I took the transmission out of the Jeep and started filming that, I um, I broke the crankshaft position sensor. I didn't realize that until a few days later. So I needed to order that part, and I didn't have $100 for the Mopar OEM one. So it took me a while. I was kind of procrastinating on spending the money, and then a whole bunch of things happened, one after the other. You know, our church sells fireworks, so I was busy during July, during the beginning of July, end of June, and then obviously, if you notice this fence, this is new. I built all of that. Uh, Me and Juliet, anyways, my wife helped me um, because we stayed down at the fireworks stand, and this is not the best neighborhood, so we had to get it kind of gated off. So we accomplished that. There's still some materials you can see, you know. So we've just finally finished all of that, you know. It's been a lot of cleaning, a lot of building stuff not related to cars, you know, and that's plenty of excuses. You know, I started the video series on the Jeep thinking that I would have time to update it and kind of stay with it, but that's why I fell off. That's why it's been a couple weeks. But while I was gone, a couple things have changed. I got the transmission cleaned up. I used like a wire wheel on a drill. Got it nice and shiny. Beautiful. So that's ready to go back in. Parts are on the way. It might be one more week before I get the final stuff, the sensor. Here's the broken one. Snap the wires clean off the back of it because I wasn't paying attention. So, but yeah, I put in the new freeze plugs. While I was in there, I did the rear main seal, did the oil pan gasket, oil pump. I replaced that, preventative maintenance, and I did the freeze plugs like twice because the first time I did them, I didn't put any RTV on them. And then I was reading online, and people were like, "Oh, you need RTV." So I redid those. I'll show you what that looks like right now. Oh man, that way if you don't like hearing me ramble, you don't have to watch the rest of the video. So this is where we're at. Let's see if I can get you in here. That's where we're at with our new freeze plugs. You can see that kind of blue gasket around the oil pan. That's the Felpro dry gasket. It's really nice because you don't really put any RTV on it, just on the joints where it's like the timing chain cover. You need like a little dot right there, but it's essentially a dry gasket. So there's oil in the pan now. There's a new oil filter. I don't know if I showed you this earlier, but this is where I JB welded the other freeze plugs. And that seems to be holding up. Of course, it doesn't have water in it right now, so we'll see. If those ones do leak, again, I'm gonna have the problem where it's gonna be a lot of effort to pull pull everything out of the way, and I'll probably just, if they start leaking, I'll probably just pull the plugs out and then put in those rubber plugs, because I can get to them if I need to replace the rubber. But really on the back of the engine, you don't want to mess around because you have to take the whole transmission off. So you better do it the right way. Use your RTV. You can see the high temp RTV right there. It's red a little bit. I got all the lettering kind of parallel with the engine, so that's fun. It was not bad. One thing I learned that might help you. Oh, sorry. Oh, my. One thing I learned is that if you're trying to smack those freeze plugs in, you're better off with like a heavier hammer, because I was using a lighter hammer to start with, and it's kind of a pain. They weren't really going in, but it takes a lot less wax if you have like a 3-pound hammer, like a small sledgehammer. That seems to be the way to go. I just use the socket, set it on the inside. Okay, that's it for the Jeep. As for the other things, you may have seen this if I turned around, I'm not sure. But this is my coworker's car. It is a Toyota Cressida, and that's the engine right there. That's a Lexus V8, and that's going to be in the Cressida. We've already dry fit it. It fits fine. We have the transmission down there. We're going to have to test fit that also. And then this is the main thing we've been working on right now, is the actual engine mount locations. So if you see here, it's these are the stock engine mounts, or where the engine mounts would go on the frame. And we have to kind of figure out what to fabricate to mount the new engine. It's different angles, it's different brackets. And so we're making this piece of wood. We matched the angles. It's a 30-degree angle on the frame side. We matched the spacing for the bolts. Just have to screw it together, and then we can use that to make measurements on the engine, and then see how much more block we need. There's like a fabricating shop in town. They're gonna do that for us for pretty cheap, so that's not a problem. This is all garage sale stuff, essentially. So if you live in like the Santa Barbara Central Coast area of California, yeah, let me know if you want anything. We've got like 20-inch wheels from work, a subwoofer, toolbox, a lot of paintball gear, a lot of junk. Trying to think of what else. This is kind of the intake and some other pieces to the Cressida build. And then I put a doorway in here. I don't know if you knew this, but there was a kind of a shed on this other side of the garage. So I've got all this kind of bigger stuff in here. This is nice. This wall is literally falling over. So probably shouldn't do that. So I'm going to have to fix that. And then I found out also that this roof is falling in over here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's leaking water whenever it rains, and then the actual framing is falling through. So I'm gonna have to bust out the carpenter tool belt, and like I'm in the union again. Can't wait. It's gonna be terrible. I got Bluetooth for the sound system in here. It's like $10 at Walmart. Little monster Bluetooth adapter. This is my Goodwill sound system. I don't know if I've shown you that yet. It's like $40 for everything. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's everything that's changed since my last video. Sorry for the pause in uploads, you know. I'm going to try to get back to doing like every Wednesday if I can, because that's my day off. So I'll try to keep the videos flowing. You know, let me know what you want to see in the comments if you want to see something different. Again, if you do live in the Santa Barbara area, I am trying to get rid of this Fiat right here. You can Google the license plate, find out where I live. So, yeah, I'm not worried about that. I stay strapped. So that's about it.